Labour received gifts worth £1 million from the gambling sector. We're going to read into this more from the Telegraph, you guys. Let's go. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. This is Regan Elite here with an article from the Telegraph with the headline that Labour received gifts worth £1 million from the gambling sector. Both Rachel Reeves and Jonathan Reynolds accepted free tickets. Guys, while you're here, make sure you hit the like button and share this across social media so others are notified of this video. I can already see it now in the comments. Oh, Regan, you're going on about gifts again. Come on, let it go. No. And then there'll be some people saying, what, they've taken more gifts? You're going to tell me this here in the gambling sector. You're going to tell, here we are, I'm going to see it now. There's no conflict of interest. There's nothing to see here. There was no rule breaking. It was all put through properly. It was all perfectly accepted and whatnot. And that's fine on that point of view. But as I've said about the previous donations, it's called conflict of interest, guys. Yeah. The Premier League and gambling sector are not giving money just for nothing. They're not giving gifts away for nothing. They're not giving tickets away for nothing. If you get given a free gift, you're expecting to give something back in return. You expect something that will benefit you, not something you're not giving and expecting nothing in return. You know, there are a lot of people who are very kind. Yes, there are some people out there who are very kind. But you're going to tell me the football leagues and the Premier League who give these tickets, Premier League specifically, or the FA who give these tickets and whatnot to Keir Starmer, you're going to tell me this is all perfectly legal, and you're going to tell me that there's absolutely no conflict of interest whatsoever, and you're going to keep arguing till the cows come home about this has always been the norm, Regan Elite. This has always been the norm. This is perfectly normal. It's always been like this. Well, here's my position. Change the system. I don't care that it's normal. Change the system. I would rather taxpayers' money goes towards MPs and ministers rather than them getting these gifts or donations because for some reason that they can't pay for their own clothes or they can't pay for their own bloody football tickets and whatnot. No, I don't want them having any influence in any way from any politicians. I don't care what political party you're from. If you are an MP, you cannot accept any gifts or donations. Period. That's what it should be. It should be an outright ban. That's what it should be. That should be the position. I'm not accepting this premise whatsoever that this is perfectly okay. Don't worry about it. No. Yeah, because you know, Labour were talking about doing more to help around the gambling industry. I remember Labour were mentioned a few things in the manifesto about the gambling industry. I remember. You know, they were talking about obviously bringing in changes to the football regulation. Now there has been some pushback from FIFA and UEFA on it, so it may not come through. But are they gonna ensure the necessary changes in the gambling sector now? Like, are you going to tell me that they gave like money and whatnot to Rachel Reeves and Jonathan Reynolds, and they're going to expect to crack down on the gambling sector after receiving money? No, of course not. Conflict of interest. That is what it is. There is always conflict of interest. And this is the thing. Like, outside of politics, it's different. We're talking about politics. Politicians who make life-changing decisions that can literally cause people to die, life or death situations that can make difference to making some people's lives better or making them worse. They hold such a sheer amount of power, politicians, and they must not be influenced by those intending to cause harm. There are some out there who don't intend to cause harm, but it is better that nobody has any kind of influence on them whatsoever by throwing money at them or gifts at them. As long as they have people like that, they can always influence these politicians a certain way that is not in the interest of the British public. And that is a problem. So senior Labour figures have received gifts worth £1 million from betting firms as emerged. So Rachel Reeves has accepted free tickets for a musical last year from the Betting and Gambling Council, as well as £20,000 in donations to her private office for gambling bosses ahead of the general election. So you're going to tell me there that there's going to be... so here's the thing, right? Are you going to... Like, she may talk tough in the budget about gambling. Is she going to crack down on it? Jonathan Ruddles, the British secretary, also accepted a ticket for the European Championship semi-final at Wembley Stadium between England and Denmark from a company that owns Ladbrokes and Sportingbet. The 3,457 ticket and matchday hospitality was given to Miss Reynolds by Entain in July 2021, according to analysis of MP's Register of Interest by The Times. Louise Haigh, the Transport Secretary, also received tickets of hospitality for a League One match between Barnsley and Sheffield Wednesday in Wembley in May 2022, among 1,421 of gifts from the firm. Yep, you're going to tell me, guys, no conflict of interest at all, are you? Overall, the party has accepted 1.8 million from figures within is connected to the gambling sector, the majority from ex-casino entrepreneurs. The revelations come after Keir Starmer became embroiled in a donations row last month in relation to gifts, including clothes and spectacles, accepted from Lord Ali, the Labour peer. The Prime Minister previously accepted £25,000 donations in support of his leader campaign in 2020 from Peter Coates, the Chief Executive of Bet365. So he's taken money from gambling too. Donations from the gambling sector risk further inflaming the row over gifts and hospitality accepted by the Labour Party and senior cabinet figures. And by the way, as for the Conservatives were worse, absolutely the Conservatives were worse. No, I'm not going to argue and debate that the Conservatives were worse and they broke the rules and they took so much money from people who influenced them. Absolutely, I'm not debating or going to argue with that in the comments whatsoever. But Labour should be holding themselves to a higher standard. That is what we expect. And they're not. Derek Webb, the former international poker player and table games designer, gave £750,000 to Labour this year and £300,000 in 2023. Mr. Webb has provided financial support behind efforts to reform the gambling sector, including legal support for Gambling with Lies, a charity that represents families bereaved by suicide. Okay. Alright, I'm all for this, but I don't like that he's poured money into like this. It still doesn't sit right with me. Even if this is true, and I'm happy for him that he's provided legal support for charities that represent families bereaved by suicide. I'm all for that, especially saving people's lives from addicted gambling and whatnot. I still don't like that he's given money to there's still that conflict of interest there. Tens of thousands of pounds have also come in from Richard Flint, the former chief executive of Sky Bet, and Lord Mandelson, a Labour peer and chairman of Evoke, a firm behind William Hill. Rosie Duffield, a backbencher MP, quit the Labour Party last week, accusing Keir Starmer of presiding over sleaze, nepotism, and apparent adverts for that is off the scale. She can't say crap. She's a transphobic. Don't even take anything from her seriously. She has said he was unfit for office after explicitly choosing to accept designer gifts from Lord Ali, while at the same time pursuing cruel and unnecessary policies such as two-child benefit cap and scrapping the winter fuel payments. There is no suggestion of any wrongdoing by Lord Ali. Labour have been contacted for comment, so there's been no response at the moment at the time of this article from the Labour Party. But still, you can see from them, obviously, the analysis and the amount of money that's been given to the Labour Party. But I've also covered on this channel before the general election that they have already been taking gifts and donations as well into the Labour Party from big private backers, many in the private sector, an ex-military company, and one or two health insurances have put their money into the Labour Party as well. Hence why Wes Streeting is very keen to use the private sector to help fix our NHS as well. But you're going to say it's all perfectly fine. There's nothing wrong, and yeah, it's totally cool. Well, it's not. It's not okay. Doesn't sit right with me. And you might not think about that because your lives are probably okay. But guess what? There's many people, up and down the UK who are much worse off, who are struggling to get by, and yet you see these politicians accepting gifts and donations like that. So just let that sink in. About when you think about the veterans that are homeless, those who are struggling to make ends meet, who are struggling to get by, who have to choose between feeding and heating, and some children who can't get anything at all. Just put that in your head, when you think about these gifts and donations that Labour are accepting, and it's all perfectly fine. Just put that on your conscience. But what do you guys honestly think? What do you guys make of this? These gifts worth £1 million from the gambling sector towards Labour path from some Labour cabinet ministers, including the Chancellor Rachel Reeves, as well as the Prime Minister Keir Starmer. Let me know your thoughts and more down in the comment section below. If you found this video informative, please hit the like button. We greatly appreciate it. Share it across social media so others are notified of this video. If you haven't subscribed already, please consider subscribing because it really does help support the channel. And if you want to go one step further, financially support me and the work that I do here, you can do so by becoming a YouTube member for just 99p. Or join me on Rumble or Patreon for exclusive content on those platforms. So thank you all so much for watching, and I hope to catch you all very, very soon.